mixed up. The 360-degree base system, alternate pi, pi and double pi, the square root of the volume of the 360-degree sphere, the radian, 2/3 pi, the square of the megalithic yard, the double radian, the 2, 15, and 60 from Stonehenge, and even the square root of 2160. Why did they come to focus on 15.49193338? The prehistoric city of Teotihuacan in Mexico, all of it, buildings, plazas, terraced platforms, streets, and even its pyramids, everything laid out on an exact azimuth of 15.49193 degrees. Teotihuacan, the city of mystery. Despite decades of on-site investigations, archaeologists know virtually nothing about it. Who built it? When? Why? Zero. Even the Aztecs had no answers for the place. When they came into Mexico, Teotihuacan, which they named the City of the Gods, was already abandoned and in ruins, centuries before the white man ever saw it. Even its name was lost in time. Its largest pyramid is this one, the Pyramid of the Sun. Its original corners lost in decay. Its original baseline measurement is unknown to archaeologists. Further, some 25 to 30 feet of its outer veneer was removed in the early part of the 20th century when an archaeologist sought to find a better defined interior, which he did. That's the Sun Pyramid we see today, about 730 feet square. But Hugh Harleston went after its original footing in order to find a better picture of its original state. He found that the Sun was once some 750.8 feet square at its base, said position being 7,508 feet above sea level today. Another base 10 reference, and in feet. If this was its baseline length, then the Sun's base was only a few feet shorter than that of Giza's Great Pyramid. But being only half as high and terraced, it has never received the attention it so richly deserves. That will change in the next few minutes. First, the equation which finds Teotihuacan in their matrix clearly specifies that it was a very important site. Far more important than anyone had ever realized. Well, hang on to your socks. The silence of Teotihuacan is about to end. Remember the Juliaco Pyramid, about a day's walk from Teotihuacan? 4 terraces became 4 pi in its decoding. Five terraces here on the Sun, right? Yes, but we must be very careful when eyeing the Sun. For example, notice that its 4th terrace was designed to show 2 separate slope angles. Hence, while the Sun actually has 5 terraces, it likewise has 6 separate faces. That's 5 pi and 6 pi. Then, too, we have this. Seen in its site elevation as drawn by the University of Rochester following its 1973 site survey, Dr. Druitt of the University of Toronto was kind enough to send this along. Notice that the upper terraces of the Sun were deliberately built off-center. Working as I have with this matrix system since 1982, I have found that matrix coordinates always bear on the center of a monument's base, not its summit. Accordingly, the lower 2 faces are distinctly separate These present a simple pi multiplex. Resulting in the value of 23,378.18184, a number which exactly encodes the sun's latitude upon the Earth. Degrees, 41 minutes, and 30.0105 seconds north. Dead center on the pyramid. Notice, dead center on the pyramid, not on its summit. And the sun finally speaks. I'm a pi multiplex, and I will show anyone why I am where I am if they know my language. As for the matrix proper, the sun addresses it from its grid latitude of 23,378.1818.4. The access key is, of course, pi. Divided by pi itself, and we find the 7441.506 square foot area of Stonehenge. We can divide it by double pi and get this. The grid latitude of another major pyramid of the matrix, one whose grid longitude we already know. Temple 4 at Tikal in Guatemala. Temple, its frontal elevation. And its side elevation. The sun shows us many multiples of the pi ratio. We can even use 5 pi. To find this, the grid latitude of still another giant. Pyramid, the largest pyramid on Earth in terms of volume, over 200 million cubic feet, over twice that of Egypt's Great Pyramid, despite the fact that it is less than half its height. The Sun Pyramid was one of considerable significance. It was not a temple to some ancient pagan religion, as we have been led to believe. And mapping was not the only aspect of the matrix which it relates. Using its grid latitude again, along with pi, and the azimuth of the entire city of Teotihuacan, the sun tells us this. The Great Pyramid's height in terms of feet, and from Mexico. From its grid latitude,